day here at Montgomery Motor Speedway today with our media day and open practice session, the first of 2010. And of course this year it's going to be an outstanding year with 6 Show Me the Money races and a big All-American 400 event here in September. 400 laps at Montgomery Speedway. But leading up to this particular weekend, we got media day practice today and tomorrow. And then of course March 20th, we'll have a 125 lap late model event here. Winner taking home $5,000. Others have worked very diligently and hard here to bring Montgomery Speedway back. It's been down a few years. It was closed for 2.5 years, but of course, all new cement grandstands out here. We repaved the track in September, and I'll tell you, it made it like greased lightning because it cut 6/10 off the old track record. Everybody loves this track because it's so smooth. Before, it had old asphalt, hadn't been repaved since 1991, and consequently, you chewed up a few tires. Now they'll be able to go 125 laps on one set of tires. That's 4 tires. Hoosier tires, I might add, on their race car. A lot of new drivers this year. Of course, we got a great Rookie of the Year program with Sunoco. That's going to pay $100 to the top finishing rookie and $1,000 at the end of the year. We're going to have a Bud Pole Award this year from the good folks at Budweiser. It's going to pay $200 to the fast qualifier at each of these events. So we're working on things there to bring these drivers in. We got a kid coming out of Bowling Green, Kentucky, who's going to be making his Truck Series, NASCAR Truck Series debut in Martinsville here shortly. We got kids out of Georgia, we got kids out of Texas, we got kids out of Florida. We're going to have 3 female drivers this year at Montgomery, so there's a lot of interest here. I look to see if we can't start maybe 30, 35 cars in that first event in March 20th.
I've lived in Montgomery all my life. I've known about the track for a long time. It's sad to see it close. Just really glad to see it open back up and get back up in operation. And want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of a historic track and just come out here and just get my name in the hat with the Allisons, the Bonnets of the world, and now the McPhersons.
I take it you came out here as a kid. You used to watch races? Or?
Absolutely.
What are some of your memories about this track?
Just being all out. Bumper to bumper, side by side racing and being excited, and always wanted to do it.
You sound like you had to kind of make a decision to get out here, and what was involved with that? And you've got 2 cars here. How difficult was it for you to get to this point?
Well, not as hard as you think. If you've got money, you can find cars. There's plenty of them for sale out there, but it really isn't that hard to get into it. It's hard to find people that will sponsor you. You know, I'm kind of fortunate that I own my own company and am able to do this. It's not easy for the guys that don't have the kind of sponsorship and are looking for it.
They're already committed to being here and having a chat.
Very fortunate to become friends with a guy that works with me
That's true.
that's raced all his life.
Maybe some show up after.
One thing kind of led to another, and here we are today.
I know one that's going to have to.
How much experience do you have in racing?
I raced when I was a teenager. I raced modifieds on the dirt track in Tupelo, Mississippi when I was 17 and 18 years old, and had to make a decision whether to go to school or to race, and I chose the school route. So I always wanted to get back into it, and now's an opportunity to do it as an owner and as a driver.
This right here is open wheel modified. It weighs 2,500 pounds, has an 8-inch wide tire, and the motor rule is pick one. There is no rule on the motors, as long as you have one in the car. They're, in my opinion, they're one of the fastest, most out-of-control cars that a driver can drive.
Explain the out-of-control part.
Considering you have a tire that's as wide as most passenger cars and you have about 600 horsepower, they tend to spin anytime you mash it to the floor. And it's a lot of fun.
Almost sounds like drag racing.
Yes, it's a controlled drag race between 4 corners.
And how fast do you get?
Around this track we're running about 19.5 second lap times, averaging close to 100 mile an hour.
Wow. Now what kind of chassis is this really? Is this something that you had to create yourself, or?
Yes sir. What you do is you take everything from the dashboard forward of like about a 79 to 88 Impala, and you use the chassis for that, and then you basically build everything else off of that front suspension area, and then you have a set of body rules, a set of body guidelines, and you pretty much, to every maximum minimum that they claim we can do, there's the body.
And so I see a lot of rivets and all kind of stuff here. How long does it take to put something like this together?
Typically you can rush and put one together in a week, but to take your time and do it right, it takes several weeks to do. And it takes another several weeks to get it dialed in to where it's a front runner each week.
And so you're looking at, what, about a couple of three?
Yes, well, it depends. You can get away with building one for around 5,000 to 6,000. In this car, I have close to 15,000 invested, and basically the sky's the limit on what kind of parts and pieces and what your budget will allow for. And we've been building this car over 3 years, and this car right here won the last race at the fairgrounds at Birmingham.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I was driving it, and it won championship that year, and it was a lot of fun. And I parked it to run mini modified here, and came back out of Alabama 200 weekend with it, and won again with it. A lot of fun, and got rid of the little mini modified and going to move up to the modified full time again this year.
Well, enough about the car. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into this?
Well, my dad and the rest of my family's big drag racer, love drag racing, and we have a 55 Bel Air 6070 heads up car, and we were doing a lot of work to it, and I went to the dirt track one night and saw the buzz cars racing Talladega short track, and said, hey, my aunt has a car like that in the field. And I went and I just got the car from her, put a roll cage in it, and started racing buzz cars, and won the first race I was ever in, and just kind of moved up from there. Started in 04 and won a couple of races in 04 in a buzz car, and then moved up to mini mod up from 05, 06, and 07, and hopped in the modified 07 and 08. And then 09 came back to Montgomery since they shut the fairgrounds down, which is really sad, but gave us the opportunity to go elsewhere and race different faces and learn new things.
And now you got a brand new track here. It's going to be easy on the tires, I understand.
Man, this track's wonderful. You've got to be easy with the tires, you got to be easy with the car. The biggest thing is put yourself in a position where you can be there at the end